have a seat here. We might have a few more folks that are going to be joining us, but we'll let them filter in the back. My name is Derek Sonntag. I am the State Director of Americans for Prosperity, Kansas. And on behalf of AFP and its 1.2 million activists across the country, I want to welcome you to the Johnson County stop of our November is Coming bus tour. Thank you very much for coming. You dangerous, angry mob, you. Now, for those of you that don't know about November is Coming, I want to stress what November is Coming is all about. It's rather simple, actually. November is Coming is all about educating Americans on where candidates stand on the important issues facing us today. Now, let me repeat that. November is Coming is all about educating Americans, Kansans included, of course, on where the candidates stand on the important issues facing today. Now, I would think that all involved, whatever side of the issue they're on, would support that type of project. So thank you very much for being here. Here's some chuckles. Now, when we talk about the issues, the ones that Americans for Prosperity is most aggressively educates folks on would be things like job-destroying legislation like cap and trade. Legislation that, if enacted, would cause manufacturers to increase prices, to perhaps close shop, and in some cases maybe even move overseas to countries that have fewer regulations, countries like India and China and Mexico. Legislation that, if it is enacted, would cost the average American family of four more than $3,000 per year. We also talk about issues such as a thing called the stimulus plan. The so-called stimulus plan that all I can tell that it has done to this point is stimulate the growth of government. A stimulus plan that, if you recall, during the debate last year in Washington, we were led to believe that it would stabilize the economy and then even rejuvenate the economy. That, most notably, it would lead to a reduction, a drastic reduction, in our unemployment rate. I think you all know how that plan is going. And also, we talk about issues such as those bailouts. Bailouts that have been going on for not just the last year and a half, but even beyond that. Bailouts in which it is the government who is picking the winners and losers in the marketplace. And you understand as well as I that that act alone threatens the viability of our free market system. And then we talk about issues such as health care. The government take over our health care system. We could talk on for hours about how that is damaging and how we must support an up or down vote to repeal that bill no matter who is in control of Congress starting in January. And then, of course, Americans for Prosperity is always aggressive in talking about the long-term damage that excessive government growth in the form of spending and debt does to our country. And that is debt, crushing debt and spending, that is left for our children and grandchildren. And they're the ones who will left to be paying for it. More than 371,000 Americans have signed our November is Coming petition. Some of you have already done so today. We have some copies listed on the back table. We also have computers where you can sign the petition online. I would encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to sign that petition. And in case you're not one usually for signing petitions, or you don't think that signing petitions really makes a difference, let me first of all read the exact language on that petition. Dear policymakers, elected officials, and candidates, you know that November is coming and voters care about the issues. Left-wing policies continue to drive an agenda for even bigger government. We want you to oppose big government programs or any other freedom-killing policies, or we will remember in November. That's what November is Coming is all about. So please take the time to sign the petition. You can do it on the NovemberIsComing.com website. You can do it at the back table. All kinds of different ways to make it convenient for you. But today, a couple of things are going to happen. First of all, you're going to have an opportunity to hear from a great speaker, and it ain't me, as you all can tell. But we will have a great speaker that I'm going to introduce here in just a matter of minutes. And in addition to hearing about further information about how some of these big government policies is damaging our country, I want you to understand that the real reason, the main reason why we're here today is so that you can take part in a nationwide, a massive citizen education effort designed to do one simple thing. Again, educate Americans, Kansans, specifically for here, on where candidates like Stephanie Moore stand on the issues. And I want to add to that, once that education is done, we must encourage our fellow citizens to not just take the information, but to take the information and contact Stephanie Moore and ask her to not support these damaging policies. Policies like I've mentioned before. And quite honestly, if she were to publicly reverse a position on some of these policies, we would publicly praise her. That's what this is all about. We must encourage people to contact Stephanie Moore and inform them of why these policies are bad. Through the use of our phone banking system and good old-fashioned door-to-door activism, you have the opportunity beginning today to really make a difference in this part of Kansas. I want to thank you for being here today, but I also want you to understand this. There are some people in this country, there are some in this state, there are some in this room right now, who believe that you are here because I suppose they envision a handful of men and women perhaps sitting behind closed doors in smoke-filled rooms. They're, from what I understand, they're supposed to be extremely wealthy. And they're pulling your strings. They're treating you as if you're puppets, some say. That the only reason you're here, or that you went to T-Bone Stadium last April, or that you went to tea parties even before that, the only reason you're doing that is because someone else is thinking for you. And they're manipulating you. Now, I know different. I've been to those meetings just like you have. I know that first and foremost you are here for the simple reason that you love your country. And that's not to say that folks that don't agree with us on these issues don't love their country either. I suppose they do. I imagine they do. But you are here first and foremost because you love your country. I know that. I also know that you are here because you understand that this is the time to stand up for economic freedom in our country. That we're at a critical juncture in the history of our country where we must stand up and educate folks on the benefit of economic freedom. And I also know that you understand that this is the time, perhaps this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to truly make a difference and to do your part in setting the future course of our country. And I applaud you for being here. Thank you very much. Now, I want to introduce someone that has been standing up and speaking about these issues for more than a year now that I know of. Someone that, despite any criticism or attacks on his character that perhaps he has incurred over the last year and a half, continues to speak out against these big government policies. And someone who, as it turns out, happens to be the cousin of President Barack Obama. But I want to welcome you to the podium. A great friend of Americans for Prosperity, a great friend of what we all are striving to accomplish over the next weeks and months. Please welcome to the podium Dr. Milton Wolfe.
My name is Milton Wolfe. I am the leader of the conservative wing of the First Family. Sometimes they're lonely meetings. It's true, I am the doctor who was the cousin of the president. And when I first studied this plan, I never had gotten involved in politics. I've never been part of a campaign. I've never taken part in different rallies. But when I studied his plan, I knew I had to take a stand against it. I had to stand for my patients. I had to stand for my profession, for my country. And I knew I had to be here today to stand with you. Because we know that what this president is trying to do with government health care is not so much about health care as much as it is about government. And I knew I had to come forward and take a stand for this. And I realized when I look at what's going on around the country that we need a lot of people to take that step forward. We need a lot of people to step out of their comfort zone. And I suspect all of you are voters or you wouldn't be here. I suspect you probably all voted in the primaries or you wouldn't be here. And I suspect you will